What's going on, Capricorn? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for May 15th to the 31st, 2024. So in this reading, Capricorn, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding May 15th through the 31st, 2024, Capricorn. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that I really do appreciate you, Capricorn, in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. And if this reading does resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here, Capricorn. So without further ado, I am going to pull the energy for you, and we'll see what's coming your way for the rest of May 2024, Capricorn. Let's see. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Capricorn. Hold on. Oh boy. Hold on. All right. Real interesting energy that you got going on here, Capricorn, for sure. Before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. And these oracle cards contain the energy that Spirit wants you to embody more of. It's the energy that Spirit wants you to really contemplate and to be in, to embody for the rest of May. And it's a little bit of a difficult one. So let me show you the energy and then we'll talk about it. The first energy you have is Mars, which has to do with aggression, drive, power, rules Aries and Scorpio. You then have the square of challenge and disharmony, and a square is a very challenging aspect in astrology that really leads to a lot of tension and frustration, but also, you can overcome a square. Squares are something that are meant to be transformed, and I like to say that you either deal with your squares or they deal with you. So there's definitely something that you can do to take care of this. Then you have Mercury, which has to do with mind, speech. It's the way that you communicate. It's even the way that you move. But in this sense, I really feel like it has to do with the words that you use, the way that you speak to people, and even your mind in general. So with Mars square Mercury here, there's definitely, Spirit's asking you to look at the disharmony and the challenge between your own aggression and your own communication. Okay, so like I said, you either deal with your squares or they deal with you. And if I was dealing, just for example, to set the tone for this reading, Capricorn, if I was dealing with someone and I was doing their birth chart and I saw that they had Mars square Mercury, I would say, hey, you're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to join a debate team. You're going to have to aggressively communicate in some sort of way, or else you're going to do that in a negative sense. So if I was dealing with someone like this, I would be saying, hey, join the debate team. Put yourself in an environment where aggressive communication is welcomed and actually needed. Because if you don't, you're probably going to take it out on people who you love. You're probably going to do it in the wrong way, in some sort of way. You know what I mean? Whether it's having the energy come at you, Mars square Mercury, people aggressively communicating with you, or you doing it to people in the wrong way. So in some sort of way here, Capricorn, there's definitely going to be a lot of excess energy that Spirit wants you to release through some sort of communication. Now, for some of you, use your intuition here. For many of you, if you know that your words have really been penetrating people and hurting people, and maybe it's something that you feel a little bit ashamed about or you don't want it to continue, then this square is telling you that you're going to have to channel this energy into a different area of your life or to realize that it's even there in the first place. But for others of you, though, and for many of you, I feel like this is something active that you're going to have to do to like step up to maybe communicate in a way that people don't want to hear, or like channeling this energy in some sort of way that's actually productive instead of harmful. That's your challenge in some sort of way. Mars square Mercury. This can also deal with anger management issues. You know, I really feel like there's going to be some sort of anger management issue that you're going to have to work through here, and putting it in the right direction is very key, very key. And for many of you, Capricorn, for those of you that, you know, this has to do with powerful communication and even like kind of like blunt, you know, if someone had Mercury square Mars in their birth chart, I'd be like, you're probably really loud. You probably are extremely honest and blunt, but you're not very politically correct. And so in some sort of way, I feel like there's an issue in your life or about people who can't necessarily handle this energy that's very natural to you. And even if it's in your own refined way, I feel like what a lot of this reading is going to be about, Capricorn, as difficult as this is, especially for the single Capricorns out there, is to find people who actually have like Venus in Aries, or like find people who welcome bluntness, who welcome that type of energy. Because I feel like right now, especially for the rest of the month, there's a high probability that you could actually, you know, communicate very too forcefully to people that maybe they have more of a gentle nature than you in some sort of way. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Your opportunity, ironically enough, or fittingly enough, is the Eight of Wands, which is all about open communication and speed. And so the Eight of Wands being your opportunity, there's definitely something you need to say. I mean, there's definitely something you're going to have to get off your chest for the rest of May here. This could also have to do with travel and like a quick decision here. Someone with Mercury square Mars in their birth chart, if they were born with that aspect, then they would be very fast. But it might be like they're very fast, but they're not in control of it. So maybe for some of you, this is about harnessing the timing of your communication, I feel, Capricorn, where potentially some of you are very, very reserved until you're not, until you know, because I always say Capricorns, they don't give a F. They don't, indifferent almost until you push them, and then they're not, you know what I mean? So the problem with being chill is that people don't hear you until you snap. But the problem is much deeper than that. There's definitely some sort of release, some sort of even catharsis that you're going to have to communicate here in some sort of way. Now, your challenge is the Nine of Wands. And you see that there's literally a person with like a wound around their arm. And it has to do with someone who, like, there's some sort of unfinished business, and something here is very hurtful, you know what I mean? Someone is in pain here, and they don't, like, they still have to fight, but they don't know if they have that much fight left in them. And for many of you, I do feel like this is about you surrounding yourself with certain people who don't have the wherewithal or don't have the capacity to handle blunt and honest communication, which maybe says something about them. But I feel like in this sense, it's almost like your efforts are misguided. For some of you, I get the sense, Capricorn, that you're entering into endless battles, verbal battles, even intellectual battles with people, because they're trying to make you wrong for having the reaction. And so there's some sort of wounding here. For some of you, though, it's going to be the opposite, Capricorn, and you can use your intuition here, Capricorn. Some of you are so pent up, you know, and some of you have so much repressed anger. You know, some of you have so much repressed aggressive communication here that you're going to be the one that hurts yourself if you don't let it out. But you have to know who you are. If you're someone who already lets it fly, you know, and this has been a theme for you, then I really feel like this is about you looking at the fact that there are people who would come to you in spades who would enjoy that. But maybe you need to watch about who you are talking to, especially for those of you dealing with someone in a relationship. I feel like there's a relationship here where there's a lot of arguing, and I feel like, let me show you why I'm saying that here, okay? or you're being just like bullied and you're not arguing, you're not standing up for yourself when you should, okay? But here's the thing, in your overall general energy this month, you have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, but I do sense in this capacity that it has to do with some sort of toxicity. And then you have the Queen of Cups of unconditional love and like a nurturing frequency. And then you have the Three of Wands, which has to do with remaining optimistic and patience and like visualizing success here. And knowing that things are going to, your ships are going to come in and things will change for the better. So for many of you, I do feel like you're dealing with a toxic relationship where both of you have so much love for each other, but your communication styles are simply not compatible, and so it's leading to a lot of unnecessary toxicity. Because and even if this isn't your work, even if this isn't love, even if this isn't your family, Capricorn, there's something here about whether you're on the giving end, the receiving end, or the neutral end. I really feel like there's someone that you have a lot of love for here that maybe there's a lack of acceptance of being blunt, being not politically correct, being raw, being loud, being fast, being honest. It's like you have to know who you're dealing with, okay? And I feel like you're dealing with a very gentle, maybe this is even a theme, you've been dealing with gentle people who, it's not that you're wrong. People could be trying to call you mean, anger problems. It's just that maybe it's not directed in the right way, okay? Now, for some of you though, and I'm going to go a completely different direction with this, and this is not for all of you, so please don't mistake it if it's not. But for some of you, Capricorn, this is about you fighting for a love that you really freaking love. This is about you not giving up. Your challenge here with the Nine of Wands is someone who, there's unfinished business and there's a fight that still has to happen even though someone's wounded. And some of you here have to really communicate honestly, openly. And I feel like the problem with this is maybe I'm hammering you about this and it's not even you. You know what I feel, Capricorn? You know what I know, actually? There's someone around you who really holds back their feelings for you. Oh, yeah. There's someone around you that I'm picking up on now, Capricorn, that really has never been just like honest with you about their feelings for you. And with the Devil here and the Queen of Cups here, it's like someone has all this emotions for you, all these positive emotions, but they could never express it. Mercury square Mars. Like I said, that square, most of the time it manifests someone that's too aggressive. They get people being aggressively communicating towards them. But sometimes it can manifest as someone who's afraid to be open, who's afraid to share their feelings, who's afraid to speak their mind because they're playing some sort of strategy game, etc. And for many of you where this first part of the reading maybe wasn't resonating as much, or even in conjunction if it is, there's something, Capricorn, here about someone who's not open with you. And maybe it makes you mad and then they kind of like demonize you. Either way, there's a real issue with drive, power, communication. And you could be dealing with a toxic love thing that maybe it's time to send the Hail Mary or think of something else that maybe it would be better received elsewhere. Here's the thing. This is going to go a couple different ways. In what you don't see coming, you have the Death card, you have the Temperance card, and you have the Ace of Wands here. So for many of you, I feel like there is an ending and there's going to be harmony brought into your life that leads to a new beginning. The Ace of Wands is all about that Mars energy. It indicates passion, very illustrative of the Mars square Mercury to a certain degree. And then you have the Temperance card, which is about balancing out, some sort of passionate new beginning here, or creating balance in order to have that new beginning, because the Death card is about transformation here. And I can see this going a couple different ways. And I didn't really think this was going to turn into a love reading, but it did. Capricorn, for many of you, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a relationship that is terminated because, first of all, someone's holding their feelings back from you and they're not being open and honest with it, and they may criticize you for doing so. But for many of you, there's going to be a relationship that comes to an end because you're simply not compatible, okay? But for many of you, it's very complicated because I actually feel like you are compatible, but then there's a lack of honesty here, whether it's on your behalf or the other person's behalf. The energy you need is to be honest right now and to communicate. 8 of Wands and your opportunity. But for many of you as well, and I hate to say this, but it's almost like once someone finally has the courage to speak something, like their true desire for you, there's going to be a relationship that gets reset here. There is, Capricorn. There's going to be, once someone stops being a little politically correct, strategizing person and puts it on the table, then you're going to be able to work through an issue with them. But for many of you, there's a large potential of that not happening. So you have to be prepared. So either way, you're going to be in a better place by the end of May. But here's the thing, because for many of you, it's like almost like, I almost get it split. Like some of you, someone that has been holding their feelings back for you for a while are finally going to, and even if those are not all positive feelings, there's something real that needs to be spoken. Like, hey, I love you so much, but the fact that I love you so much scares me. Like, this is nothing malicious or negative. The energy that I sense here is that someone is not admitting true, honest communication feelings, or someone is not expressing something honestly and raw because of fear or because of a toxicity or a strategy or some sort of emotional, someone could have even, you may even be dealing with someone, for some of you I sense, that has a lot of childhood trauma that prevents them from viewing this situation accurately, but don't think you're off the hook. That could be for you as well. But Capricorn, yeah, there's going to be some sort of real, raw, open communication that leads to a complete ending and you finding someone who's more compatible for you. Or for some of you, it actually finally does turn around here. Because in your advice, you have the 4 of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the High Priestess here. And it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, I feel, because on the one hand, Spirit's telling you to go for new love. Spirit is telling you, Capricorn, that new love is on the table for you. But you also need to listen to your intuition right now. Because many of you for a long time you've known that someone has been holding back their raw feelings for you, even if it's ugly. Someone has been playing a game with you. Someone has been maybe even emotionally manipulating you by not speaking. Or you're doing this. But there's some sort of new love that is coming into your life that Spirit is saying, listen to your intuition. For many of you, there is going to be an end to a relationship that was once, this could have even been someone you thought you were going to be married to. But your intuition is saying, like, this is not going to be fixed here. But the problem is that for some of you, someone is finally going to speak up, and it might be you or it might be them. But this is the energy that I feel happening. So let's go ahead and start clarifying. It's getting dark here. Hopefully it doesn't get too dark, but let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Let's clarify first of all why the 8 of Wands is your opportunity. Why is the 8 of Wands your opportunity, Capricorn, right now? The 5 of Wands in reverse. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles. And the Strength card in reverse. Well, this is an interesting opportunity. The 5 of Wands in reverse can be the fear of competition, or, someone who's being overtly competitive in some sort of way with you, or you with someone. The Strength card in reverse as well is, kind of not worrying about, it can be I sense what this is, Capricorn, is this desire to balance out the higher self and the animalistic self maybe has gone too far. So for those of you that have known that you're being overly politically correct, I really feel like there's something here where you're going to have to channel this energy in a healthy way that is very raw, though. And you have the Queen of Pentacles here as well, upright. So this is your energy. So you may have to stand up for something that makes you feel weak. This can also be someone, and your opportunity is to realize, Capricorn, that someone's lower self, someone's animalistic self of fear of admitting their true feelings for you, Maybe because they feel if they're vulnerable with you, then you're going to control them in some sort of way. Because you're a Capricorn, you can be kind of intimidating in that way. I feel that you have to realize that someone's lack of communication for you is going to finally terminate the relationship. For many of you, the sad thing is it won't terminate it, and you're going to be in this cycle of waiting for someone to tell you the truth, and they're still not going to. But for many of you, Capricorn, I feel like there's an opportunity. It's coming through now is like you to recognize that someone's not speaking the truth to you. And your intuition has not been tripping you out the whole time. You know what I mean? And that's that can be quite painful here. Let's also clarify why the Nine of Wands is here in your challenge. The Two of Wands here. You're going to have to make a choice point. Hold on. The Nine of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords here. Yeah, that's truth and boundaries, and someone who's very sharp, someone who's very aware of their truth and their boundaries. And then you have the Two of Wands. So you're at a choice point right now. You know, the truth hurts, but it will set you free is what's coming through in your challenge, Capricorn. And I feel like as long as you can know this truth, that someone has been like manipulating you or just trying to keep themselves safe as well by not openly speaking with you, it's going to give you the knowledge necessary to make a different choice here. But for others of you, there's going to be, there's a real challenge here for you to like, how do I want to communicate my boundary or truth right now? How do I want to do it? Because right now, once again, for some of you here, there's going to be a realization that maybe someone is holding feelings back for you. But even if that's the case, your truth is that someone is out there, Capricorn, that is going to love you just as you are. Whether you are on the spectrum of you don't really let it fly. I feel like Capricorns are very blunt and honest, though, for the most part. So I feel like there's someone out there who can receive your raw energy and they will actually love it instead of you trying to force something with someone here. But even if you don't move on, at least you know the truth here. Let's clarify that Devil, Queen of Cups. It's getting a little dark, so I'm going to do a joint clarification. Let me get that Devil and the Queen of... Because there's clearly a toxic relationship here. There's clearly a toxic, unconditional love is what I... So I feel like someone's hiding their feelings for you, to be honest, though. And they may be trying to... Yeah, the Star is here. Hold on. Someone be hiding their feelings for you like a mother effer and then calling you crazy is kind of what I feel, to be honest. Let's see. Why is the Devil and the Queen of Cups here? Yeah, Capricorn, man. Someone has so many feelings here that maybe there's damage done as well. Maybe there's a big history for some of you. The Devil and the Queen of Cups is clarified by the King of Wands. The King of Wands is someone who could certainly have a Mars square Mercury who got it under control. Like in general, the King of Wands is someone who would capitalize on that square. But anyway, you have the Star, which is all about wish fulfillment and healing, and the Three of Swords, which is all about pain. And so there's clearly someone who still has a lot of feelings here. But I feel like someone is so afraid of being hurt. Someone is so afraid of being hurt and authentic. You know what I mean? Someone is having a hard time being real. Like the King of Wands is the realest person in the room, or like in terms of like expression of passion. And like the Eight of Wands is what you need more of. Strength in reverse, though. I really feel like someone doesn't have the heart here. And so it's like... If it's not being well received, you know what I mean? If you can't get through to someone, then Spirit is kind of saying remain optimistic, but ultimately it's pretty much time to move on. Ultimately, though, is what I feel here. But there's still hope through the heartbreak here, man. This is a weird ass reading. Wow. Let's clarify why the Temperance card is here. And so, like, I feel like you're trying to, for some of you, the issue here is that you're trying to get through to someone that you know has feelings for you, and the only way to do it is by, like, being aggressive with them. And for some of you, it's the exact opposite, where you are trying to play it cool when the actual opportunity is to let it fly. Like right now, it's Judgment Day. Let it fly. Let your feelings out on the table. See how it's well received, because you've been dancing around a political game for far too long now. But it's going to be different for different Capricorns. Why is the Temperance card here and what you don't see coming? The Temperance card is clarified by the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords here. So this has to do with, man, like zero-sum game energy, emotional pain. And so for some of you here, there's definitely going to be an ending to this relationship where two of you, someone is aggressive and someone's overly sensitive. And that's the energy that I felt from the beginning of this reading, Capricorn, is that there's someone out there who would be much more compatible for you and would receive you well. But I do feel like there's still something that you're going to have to say or something. Let's see why the Ace of Wands is here. Wow, it's like I'm like a tomato in here. Why is the Ace of Wands in what you don't see coming? The Queen of Cups. Do you have like a love-hate relationship with someone? Do you have like crazy makeup sex or something? Because that's kind of what this reading seems like. But there also might be some... Hold on. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Why is the Ace of Wands here for Capricorn? And what you don't see coming. Wow. I mean, man. The Ace of Wands is clarified by the Queen of Cups and the Five of Pentacles here. So there really may feel like there's a new beginning coming into your life where you're going to say, you know what, like this is not worth the craziness anymore, and I need to find someone who will actually receive my energy in a positive way, so I don't have to alter myself so much. But I feel like there's a bitter pill to swallow. Like either way, there's some sort of bittersweet feeling. There can be a new beginning in your life, but there's still someone that you're attached to in some sort of way, is what I feel going on here. And, this may be you kind of, like, you've gave it your all. You know what I mean? If someone does not want to be vulnerable with you, or someone is, their communication's out of whack with you, I feel like it's someone hiding their feelings, trying to play games. As much as it hurts, you're still on the outside. You can't keep trying to fix this unless you're a genuine sadomasochist. Like, you're going to have to move on, because this person that you're dealing with, this is a guy. No, okay. All right, hold on. Let's just also clarify the Death card, because I feel like that will also let me know. All right. Well, the Death card is clarified by the Eight of Cups in reverse. What in the hell is going on here? That's someone who wants to walk away but can't, or like there's a negative ending here. I get it more of like you got to walk away from something, but it doesn't really feel good at all. Like the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Cups upright, Capricorn, is someone who walks away from an emotionally unfulfilling experience, and they're like, you know what, that's pretty good, but I got something else. Let's do it. This is someone who's walking away when they don't want to walk away, potentially for their own sanity. And with the energy that you need more of with Mercury square Mars, this is about your own mental health and your own anger problems. And I feel like you're dealing with someone who's playing games with you, who is, maybe they're not trying to do it. Maybe it's because of their own trauma. It's not to make a demon out of this person, but you got the devil right next to the Queen of Cups, okay? That's walked in on demon time. Okay, so let's just keep going. Because this is really, I feel like there's a danger here of underexpressed aggression or overexpressed aggression. You can't really get around it, but you're gonna have to find a way. F a blog, dog, cause one day we gon' meet. I'ma spaz on your hat like I'm JP. All right, good luck, brother. All right, let's go. Okay, let's get through the advice. Why is the Four of Wands here in the advice? I feel like this is. Let's see. The Four of Wands in your advice is clarified by the Three of Wands, the Hierophant, the Devil, the Four of Pentacles, the Two. Are you kidding me? Man, there's still something about I feel like you have to understand, Capricorn, that, okay, if you decide to move on and walk away from this individual, okay, they're still going to be hopeful that one day they're going to be with you. I swear to God, they might be calling you a demon. They might be hiding their love. They might be doing anything. The problem is that Spirit is saying is that someone is once again still holding back their emotions. The devil right next to the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is stingy. It's someone who's overly conservative here. And the devil is, right next to it. The Two of Cups, love, Three of Wands, patience, Hierophant, commitment, tradition. And so for some of you here, the advice is saying that it's going to be quite painful because someone is not going to energetically let you go. But you're going to have to still go in some sort of way. Now, for others of you, though, there may be a turnaround here. But to be honest, that's very unlikely. It's more likely that you're going to do something new. And you're going to find someone where there can be an equal give and exchange. Someone who values your style of aggression, communication, rawness, bluntness, openness, sarcasm even. You know what I mean? I feel like there's someone here who maybe is like, it's just off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in love with you, but the vibe is wrong. And that haunted me all the way home. High Priestess. Why is the High Priestess in your advice? High Priestess, listen to your intuition. Okay, the High Priestess is clarified by the High Priestess, and that's just like a confirmation here that I feel your intuition is telling you that someone's holding back your feelings, holding back their feelings for you. Could be vice versa. Roles can be reversed here as well. But you need to listen to your intuition no matter how painful it is. Because right now, Capricorn, you know what your intuition is telling you is that you're done. You're ready to move on to a new path. But because of someone's issues, they're not going to let you go even when you let them go. And it's clearly some sort of toxic thing about holding back true feelings of openness and vulnerability. And so even when you move on, you're going to be haunted all the way home. I'm serious. And so, look, you're in a little bit of a predicament, I will say. But at least you have gotten this information, which can hopefully help you. And I would say, direct this anger, direct this aggression, direct this drive in a way that will be well received. And there's many ways that you can do that. You can go down to the gym. You can join a debate team. You can scream in an area that it's okay to scream in, but maybe, I don't know, Capra. I don't know. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you next time.